Let's see. Are we all systems go yet at the moment? Gotta move the mic into my nose here. What's up, everyone? We're at all-time highs ish, I think. Close enough. Coin's doing well. Some alts up today. The audio sounds fine to me, and I say this every stream. So if it's not fine for you on the recording, I apologize, but there's not really much I can do. This is about as good as it gets for me. What's up, everybody on Twitter or X? Demand the mic in my mouth. Again, I don't know. I'm sure it's like a combination issue of OBS, YouTube, the microphone, everything else. I've turned it up as much as I could. So I'm sorry if it doesn't sound good, because there's nothing more annoying than audio that is suboptimal when I'm listening to stuff. We are doing the thing, as they say. A lot of people freaking out still. Just like everybody needs to chill, take a dopamine. What's the term? Dopamine decoupling? No, I had a really good. What's a dopamine detox? Dopamine detox. Just let this stuff happen, okay? Like, it's not a meme coin. This is $1 trillion asset. It's gonna move slowly. It's gonna have pullbacks. It's gonna do a bunch of stuff, but it trades very well on technicals. And if you know some basic stuff, just super basic, we're always looking for the same things. Nothing ever changes. I pointed out this ascending triangle Sunday, I guess, and here we are, right? So, are there any issues here? Is the question. I think we do have a little bit of a bear div that's cancelable, so that's okay. You're looking for obvious in-your-face reasons to get out of spot. That's what I'm looking for. I don't know if people are leverage trading this or not. I don't know if they're on Kraken leverage trading this or not, or wherever else. They're trading 10 other things. They're trading alts for no reason whatsoever, etc., etc. But BTC looks good. We are post-halving. We are post-election. This is what's supposed to happen. We're in Q4. If you faded this, maybe you'll learn next time. Like, what else can I say? What else can I say? This is the expectation. The expectation is we pop off. Now, we needed the election to go a certain way for price to do this. Arguably, the election would not have mattered in the long term. Arguably, this election result is a lot more bullish than the other election result. But if you're in a vacuum, on your deserted island, you get price once a day. It flies overhead once a day. Now, each day you say, help, take me off this island. They can't see that. All they do, for some reason, is they're showing you Bitcoin price once a day, and it's your job in the sand with coconuts and banana leaves to make sense of it with a chart. You know nothing else. You don't know who the SEC chairman is. You don't know who the president is. All you can see is the chart. The cloud still looks good. Are we overbought? Absolutely. Do with that what you will, right? Would I open fresh 100x longs up here? Nah. But, and we talked about this. This is similar to, I guess I can't draw on this. This move is very similar to January, February. We broke out, consolidated for a couple days, broke out again. And then we printed a nasty rising wedge. After that, we spent a couple months printing a nasty head and shoulders. So this just tells you, be patient, give it some time. And that's if it's like this, okay? If it's anything like 2017 or whatever else, like, it's going to look a little different. But the times in which I get concerned are when we are in the daily cloud with a bearish DK cross. Again, always the same, chat. It never changes. It hasn't changed since 2013. 2013, I think. 2014 is when I seriously started looking at the cloud after going through a bunch of junk. But it's always the same on any asset forever. It's never changes. Okay, I get worried if we're in the cloud on the daily. Now you can argue that you can get a little bit worried if we're super far above the cloud. That's fine. But it's not a short. It's a be careful. And we can look at MSTR. Oh boy. Oh boy. Lots of people coming in. The relative value people coming in. Citron coming in. Smashing down the premium. We got Sailor probably tapping the ATM. This is why you don't buy MSTR at a 4x NAV. I don't care what people say. Can it get smushed down and push higher? Fine, sure, right? But that is a very obvious thing that I just can't do. I cannot do that. I just can't. And a lot of people asking me like, why did I close my MSTR? I can go over that. Admittedly, I closed it a little bit early, but it's days like today where I'm like, you know what, it's fine because I'm in something else. Anyway, BTC. Is there anything here screaming at you? I don't see anything personally on any time frame. 4 hour, you know, this just looks like vertical accumulation. We're clearly chewing through a ton of selling because look at this volatility, right? We sell off, we buy back. We sell off, we buy back. We sell off, we buy back. Options went live, we sold off, we bought back. We sold off, we bought back. So what does that tell you? That on low time frames, expect a ton of volatility. I would expect a ton of selling at 100K. There's like, I don't know, 250 million in sell walls probably at 100K. Okay, like, you know, if you want to close out in front of that, go for it. If you want to wait, go for it. But I would be patient. I'd be very patient. What's up, Avi? Yeah, a lot of people are still holding MSTR. They've done great. That is totally okay. That is totally okay. But I find it difficult when people who have done well, it's like any rich person, right? Any rich person who's telling you to go out on the risk curve and buy NFTs and buy some other shit coin, that is very different than I have $1,000. What should I do right now? Now, you should never take anybody seriously for financial advice like that, but this is people just like literally gambling on MSTR. Okay, that's probably going to end in tears for a lot of them. Yeah, we're completely out of the weekly B-Vans. I'll talk about MSTR in a second, but what you want is for Sailor to smash down the premium before people like Citron and other shops with the relative value game get in there first. He needs to smash that down so we can buy more BTC, so we can repeat the cycle again. Just do it over and over and over again. That's what you want to see. So you should get a little uncomfortable thinking that we're at 4x premium to NAV. This is just going to keep going, blowing out to 10. Like it could, but the odds that somebody steps in and sells that down just increase higher and higher and higher. So either they're going to get short squeezed or they're going to be right, or Sailor's going to do it himself. And again, that's what you want. That's what you want. Missed all this by not listening and sitting in alts. If you screwed anything up in the past year, you need to like learn so you don't do that again. Now the past isn't the future, but you know, people are going to do what they're going to do. I can only lead. I can lead you to water, but I can't make you drink Bitcoin versus alts, right? What's up, Joey? Sailor can do a bunch of stuff. He can issue convertible debt. He can stop. He can tap the ATM. He can stop. He can wait. He can let it blow out. Whatever. Like, he can do an infinite number of things in an infinite number of ways. But the probability that he taps the ATM when the premium to NAV increases goes way up. The probability that somebody jumps in like Citron and tries to sell down MSTR when the NAV is 4 or 3.5 or whatever goes way up, right? That's all. That's all that is. All right, so BTC, it looks good. I have nothing to say. right? We're at all-time highs. This isn't bearish. If you're shorting this, good luck. Thank you. I thank you for the donation. This isn't the time for that. Okay. What you want to see, again, is what we saw. If we dial this back to back here, we had, if you remember, right here, right? This was a rising wedge, and this took 2 weeks, okay? So if 2 weeks from now we have a massive rising wedge or some other bearish pattern, something that's recognizable, then I will be concerned. But here the risk is upside risk. Here the risk is we don't stop at 94 or 100 or whatever, and we just keep going. Because this is today what we are passing. This is the power law corridor on TradingView, and we are passing the center line. Let me just make this super thick. We're passing the center line today for the first time since we passed below the center line in 2022. Now, it is the power law. You can say it's arbitrary, whatever. Okay, believe in something. Okay. We are above this for the first time. To me, what this means is we are now on a course to attempt a move to the ceiling of this power law. That's probably going to take us through the entirety of 2025. Okay, this is not a tomorrow thing. So calm down. Calm down. This takes time, right? Look at how long it took. Even in 2021, super accelerated from exit to peak was 150 days. You have to give this time. You have to give this time. In 2020, we broke out and tapped back a couple times, confirmed it as support. In 2017, what did we do? We broke out, hovered around it a couple times, and eventually continued. So just because we're breaking above it, I don't expect it to just keep going, but it is a very encouraging sign for the next year that this can keep going. So if you're a power law enjoyer, this is great. This is exactly what you want to see. So whatever our, maybe it's 98, maybe it's 100, maybe it's 95, whatever we bounce around, fine, great, awesome, perfect. You know, like you just have to let it happen and be patient with it. This just broke out after bouncing around for 7 months. So you have to be patient with it. But it looks very good. The other thing is this pitchfork, which just like 2017 had a very clean pitchfork. Towards the end of it, when we busted higher, was literally the point at which we busted through the midpoint of the power law. All the way back here. I talked about this on Twitter, I think last week. But we had this really good pitchfork here. The moment we busted up above the pitchfork was the midpoint of the power law. So there's clearly some sort of relationship between the power law and the pitchforks, and just log charting, right? All of this is on log, by the way. It's happened a couple times. I think it's a pretty good bet to think it might happen again. So that's why this is a big deal, because not only are we potentially headed for 6 figures on a psychological level, but the price model is telling you this is a big deal. The pitchfork is telling you this is a big deal. So yes, this looks very good for sure. For sure. Let me catch up with chat. All right. Thanks for stopping by on Twitter, if you're there, on X, on YouTube. Let me know if you want me to talk about anything. If it's some page 56 alt, I mean, I asked you, so I can't be mad. But read the room, you know, like we're at 99,000 here. What do you? Why does the world? Why do you think the world cares about page 56 altcoin? You know, I'm just saying. Let BTC top out at wherever it tops out. Maybe it's 100. Maybe it's 99. Let BTC top out, and then alts are more likely to run when people are looking to rotate. Top is in this year? No, 2025. Next question. I like end of year 2025 personally, but mid 2025 is possible. It's also possible we just don't sell down. We just, you know, we have downward volatility, we give some back, but it's possible that we never see like these 80% drawdowns. It's possible. Now, if MSTR blows up, we're going to see a very ugly situation, but 80% is probably unlikely. The world is waking up to what this stuff is finally has access to it. Get a new mic, says Paul. The problem is, if this sounded bad on the YouTube recordings, then I would get a new mic. But to me, it sounds great. Even when I listen to this stream back, it sounds great. So I don't know what it is, but for me, it's fine. How many nose beers? No nose beers for me. I do see Twitter chat for everyone asking. Almost sold ETH 2 days ago. I mean, it was a little late at this point. At this point, you're probably better off just holding it. Have I tried speaking in the microphone? Again, I don't know what it is. But I've maxed everything. I'm probably yelling into the microphone. It is what it is. Is it really that slow, 1K a day? For some people, their dopamine is just like, I'm on TikTok. I must see a 50x in 5 minutes. I don't get it. Like they need to chill. What's up, Cody? How about open a 5x here? I mean, this is why it's like, what is it? Double Dutch, you know? Jump rope. Here's a double Dutch jump rope reference. Didn't think you were going to get that today, did you? You know, you gotta watch it. For those, I haven't done jump rope in years, but you have to watch it happening. You have to watch the market happen, figure out the speed, the timing, and then jump in. And after you do this 100 times, 1,000 times, you're like, okay, I know what this looks like. I know what to do here, blah, 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 blah. So here was the time for the 5X at like 92, 91. Not just because it worked out. This is not hindsight. This is saying anytime we see this ascending triangle stuff. Do I have it on here? We'll do this. Like here is where the train is at the station, okay? The train is at the station. This is where you need to make a decision. At any point, your stop loss on anything that looks like this is always anything below the diagonal support. Breakout is anything above horizontal resistance. Ideally, you are fully sized up at the breakout point. So to do something up here on leverage seems a little silly to me. But that's just me. I tend to trade, I'm like a swing trader, not a day trader, so I tend to trade over the course of a week or a month. So I'm not like in and out of this stuff in a very short period of time. We are in the wheelhouse for this multi-day consolidation target at the moment. Definitely feeling good. Everybody should be feeling good, unless you're holding a pile of junk. And I don't know what to tell you. 10 years of the cloud anniversary. That's true. That's true. Can I look at grab? I don't know what that is. MSTR questions, we'll talk about that. You've drawn measured move on BTC's cup and handle 2 or 3 days ago. Target of 300 without log scale. So Royal, I get this question all the time. I don't have a great answer for you other than I always use log on everything. All charts, I never shut it off. I always use log fibs. And these are the targets we get, right? In TradFi, almost nobody uses log fibs. Almost nobody uses log scale. The reason you sort of have to is because that's how crypto moves. It moves in log scale, you know? You can't see the price if we're in linear scale. I think this is, yeah, so this is what you're talking about. So I talked about this on a video the other day. This is the cup and handle. If you're concerned about log versus linear, then just know, and we can go to linear here to see. If linear is 130 to 109, and we get to 109 to 130, and you're questioning what to do, maybe sell some, right? But I always chart in log. Have never not charted in log from very early on because you can't see anything in linear. That's not how this market moves, right? Like this is linear. I can't see anything back here. I can't see anything back here. So that's why I'm in log. I don't care what other people do. I don't care what you do if you're trading this. I'm just telling you what I'm doing and why it looks the way it looks. There's nothing that's right or wrong. It's just this is what I do. We'll see in 2025. Can we get there by the end of the year 2025? I think we will try. I think we will try. No more corrections. I mean, we literally just broke out a couple weeks ago. There's going to be a correction at some point, but this could be like 2020 into 2021. We really had next to nothing drawdown wise. I mean, we sort of paused here at 34, 35. I think people don't realize, like, this sounds silly. I don't think people realize how serious of a breakout this was and still is. And they're just thinking, oh man, you know, it can't keep going. It can't keep going. I don't know. I don't know. Someone on next tweeted that it's easier for ETH to double. Now we're in a hold position for a year. Would you rather hold ETH? I would rather hold BTC 10 times out of 10. And if it's not BTC, then it's ETH. For sure. Or sorry, if it's not BTC, it's Sol. If it's not BTC, it's Sol. And that is because of Sol BTC. There's almost no alt chart that looks this good. Almost nothing. It's got an ascending triangle, which is the pattern we just talked about on BTC and low time frames, except it has it on a multi-month time frame. And it has a cup and handle potentially. Both of those have a bullish bias. Your stop loss here is the same. This is why learning chart patterns is so important. None of this stuff is ever different. It's always the same. Your stop loss is like 020, let's call it, on the Sol BTC idea. I like this better at the breakout. But if I had to pick two assets to hold for a year, it would be 75% BTC, 25% Sol. That's it. Wouldn't touch ETH, wouldn't touch anything else. Don't care. I just don't care. That's me. I don't know if it's going to be right, but this chart looks phenomenal. Still looks phenomenal. Contrast that with this chart, ETH-BTC. It's been bearish for 2 years. You can say it's bottomed every single time we're wicking lower. That's fine. Okay. I like things that are going up. I don't know about you, but this has not shown strength. Is it a parabolic move to the downside? Absolutely. Does it look like there's a lot of emotion in here? People selling? Absolutely. If we look at volume, I don't know. Is volume even going to be... Volume's not even that impressive, honestly. I just don't know what to tell people who are holding ETH and have been holding ETH for years. Like, sorry, welcome to trend metrics. This is why I look at this stuff. Do I think US equities look healthy? I think they look fine. I don't think they look healthy, but I think they look fine. Is it too late to move a bag of X into BTC or Sol? That's up to you. I can't answer that question. What I would do is chart it against BTC, chart it against Sol, or whatever your preference is, and then take action based on your knowledge of whatever you care about. I personally do not like sitting in something that has been down only for years. That's just not me. Most alt people don't care. Okay, fine. What's up, Jack? But I'm not going to sit in this chart expecting that it bounces. This probably bounces. This probably does decent in 2025. But it needs to show it to me first. The same thing with ETH BTC. ETH BTC on the daily, let's just go to the daily, okay? The last time it had a chance at doing anything was in like May, June, July. You may remember that we talked about this as a descending triangle. It broke down and kept going, okay? We at some point talked about a falling wedge down here that I think it looked something like this. It broke down, broke up, and now it kept going, okay? You're getting your question and answer over and over again on this. The answer is almost always bearish continuation, bearish continuation, bearish continuation. You want this up here, above the cloud. Set an alert above the cloud and then forget about it, okay? Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter. So it doubles, okay? You'll be there halfway. You'll be there at 042. Like, I don't know what else to say. I can't say I'm paying attention to trend metrics and then ignore the fact that it's this bearish for this long and then just allocate anyway, right? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Sol looks different. Sol looks better. That's why it makes more sense than ETH. That's just all it is. Vainsky says top in November 2025. I'll take it. 400K by the end of the day. I don't know about that. I haven't talked about ETH yet, so let's just bring that up. A lot of stuff playing catch up today. I had thought this week ETH would catch up a little bit just because it's down so much, right? At some point, somebody's going to take a stab and say, yeah, okay. The problem is we hadn't really seen that yet. This is the ABCD target to like 4,300. ABCD is like Elliott wave speak, probably. You'll see this occasionally. You could probably argue there was some sort of ABCD back here. Similar, ABCD. There's probably something similar here. A, B, C, D, right? So you get these like repeating waves of price action in between pullbacks. It looks fine. It meets all the cloud criteria on the daily. It looks okay. I have no problems with it. The problem is ETH BTC. It just hasn't done anything, right? So that's ETH. Like, yeah, it's bullish. You could say this is a cup and handle here. We can draw it out. We can say we got the cup, we got the handle. We're going to go long on the breakout. Our target is 4,200. Again, that's the ABCD target. Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But it has traded very poorly, and you just have to keep that in mind. That's all, you know? Like, this whole game is just about probabilities. It's not about smart contracts. It's not about RWA. It's not about BlackRock biddle, whatever. Okay, this is technical analysis. And this is all we got, to me, that matters. So yeah, I like that idea on low time frames. But again, you got to keep in mind, hasn't traded particularly well. Sol on the daily. Sol on the daily. I'll say this every stream for the next year. If you think this is a cup and handle on Sol and it's going to 1,000, what do you care what I have to say at 250, right? It doesn't matter what I have to say at 250 if you think it's going to 1,000. You just keep buying and you double down on the dips and you have a plan, right? If that's your plan, that's your plan. That's fine. I think that's a reasonable plan. On the daily near term, it's above the cloud. It looks good. It has a little bit of a bear div, but I don't think that's that big of an issue. If we measure this from nose to tail, I think 300 is reasonable in the near term. And again, it becomes a risk reward probability game. Do I want to take a 20x long here? No. Do I want to take a 5x long here? Probably not. Would I have liked a leverage long at 210? Sure, right? Would I take a 2x long here? Probably. That's fine. I mean, it's up to you. I don't know. I can't trade your book for you. But these are the kinds of questions you need to think about, probability-wise. Someone else says my mic is low compared to other channels. My stream mic might be low, the volume, but my recordings are fine. Like, I can crank the gain. The problem is the quality is just garbage. That's the problem. Why why are miners underperforming? Yeah, miners are alts. They'll have a mind of their own. They should follow, but sometimes they don't. Fadi's here. He's from last stream. He's the cup and handle soul enjoyer. Like, again, I'm not belittling you or talking down to you. I'm talking to you seriously. If you think this is reality, which it could be, I don't know. Like, this is hyper bullish for Sol, right? And the same thing with Sol BTC. Like, this could go to, let's say, 0.1 on the BTC pair. If you think that, then have a plan around trading that. Like, that is very important. That is a big move. And Sol ETH still looks very bullish for Sol. I don't see any weakness here in relative pairs. This isn't a statement about the community or the chain or the TPS, whatever other nonsense people talk about. This is purely looking at technicals. That's it. That's it. What's up, F Society? Talk about MVRV. Yeah, we can talk about that. If you haven't watched the video Tuesday, I would watch that. But for the strategy is not generate any orders. What? Daily? Weekly? There are a few things to pay attention to. One is a price model, one is an on-chain model, and then the other would be chart patterns. For BTC, we're lucky enough that we can look at the on-chain stuff. And historically, it's given us a very good clue as to what the heck's going on here. Basically, all you're ever trying to do is figure out, okay, how much unrealized profit are people sitting on? How much money in a multiple of the lows are people sitting on? At some point, people will start selling. We all say hodl, but I don't want to die with it, okay? At some point, people are going to start. Thanks, Jack. People are going to start selling, right? So what is that multiple? MVRV helps you determine mathematically, based on previous market tops, where people are more likely to start selling. And that's based on when coins have moved on-chain. So I don't care about the ETFs. That will also be on-chain. Everything, it should line up the same, okay? This is why MVRV is so important. It shouldn't change going forward. It may look slightly different, But you can see how well these peaks in the yellow line here line up with peaks in price. And I'm not the first one to talk about MVRV, okay? This isn't like some gigabrain galaxy idea. Everybody looks at this for the most part. Another way to think of it is cost basis. What is the cost basis of the network relative to the current price? So if we're looking at that, currently that is around 3. Let's just call it 3, right? This can go to basically 6, 7. I mean, it could go to infinity, but at some point, people are going to start taking profit. At some point, people are going to start taking profit. We've already seen a lot of profit taking from people, and I see it every day on my Twitter feed. We're moving coins that are like 10 years old, 12 years old, right? Good. That's what we want to see. Keep selling into strength. The last thing we want to see is somebody waiting till we're at 250 and then dumping 4,000 coins on the market, right? That's not what you want to see. That is not conducive for bullish continuation. So that's what MVRV is telling you. It tells you it's just an oscillator, extremes in overbought, oversold, basically relative to on-chain price action. That's it. It's deceptively simple. So if this starts to get to 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, I'll be selling based on this. And that will probably also look like very overblown bullishness outside of MVRV, just with technicals, right? We will probably get there if we get this cup and handle playing out. My guess is a few things, right? MVRV is probably greater than 5 up here. We are probably the 2-year moving average multiplier ceiling, power law ceiling, like all of this stuff is probably somewhere up here in 2025. Let me catch up in chat. Restream ate some of the chat. It's good to see people here. It's good to see some emotion. Fadi, I wouldn't even pay attention to Sol ETH, honestly. Who cares? If it looks good against BTC, what does it matter what Sol ETH looks like? That's just me. I think it's amp power to the mic, same issues. Yeah, I'll have to look at it again if there's still problems, but I don't know. I might need somebody to help me out with that. You're literally in the opposite. I mean, I'm talking into the mic, man. I'm not. All right, enough about the mic. What else? What else? What else? Just reading. Yeah, we talked about ETH. ETH looks fine. It's going to lag everything. It hasn't traded well. You know, that's just it. There's nothing else to say. Sol is beating it. Bitcoin is beating it. Ripple ETH is probably beating it, right? If I want to ride the fastest, most confident horse for the next 10,000 miles over 2025, most of that's going to be BTC. Smaller portions of that at certain points of time are going to be other stuff. But for me, it's BTC. That's it. What do I think ETH looks like in 2025? I mean, there is, let me pull it up here. ETH Rainbow. Where is it at? Is it here? I have it somewhere. Hold on, give me a sec. I don't think this is going to play out. I don't think we're going anywhere in the 30s, anywhere in the 20s. If I had to guess, it's going to be 10K for ETH, if I had to guess. So I don't know how realistic this model is, this log curve zones. There's also this log regression, which is what it is, right? It gives you probably, again, it's going to be 10K into 2025. That's it. Sol 1,000, ETH 10, BTC 300. Those are my levels that I expect. It's just simple. Anything more than that, and that probably means that something fundamentally changed between all of the coins. Like, we can look at total USD, we can look at others USD. I don't care. Like, why do people care about that stuff so much? The issue is that's not, you're kneecapping yourself. You're saying, I don't care what BTC looks like. I'm just trying to find something that's bullish. That's basically what you're saying, which, hey, that's fine. And yeah, others looks good. Total 2 looks good. All that looks good. But then we do this, and let's see what it looks like here against BTC. Ooh, right? Is that bullish? No. You can say, I think this is a low, blah, blah, blah. Fine, right? That's a different question. Does this trend bullish? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Where is it trend bullish? The same place it was trend bullish the last time, which is here. Okay, that's up here. That's up here. Not here. This is nothing. This is garbage. So no. So then you got people saying, okay, what about I don't know, some meme coin be against BTC? Yeah, there's always going to be individual things, but as a group, you're trying to pick out like 10 against 10,000, 10 against 100,000. You can do that, but eventually you're just going to lose. So why? It's like playing hard mode, you know? Yes, I've got logs on fibs, logs on the log scale. Tony, you don't need to ask me 3 times. You just got to give me a second to read the chat. Tony went on YouTube and asked me 5 times. Then he went on Twitter and asked me. And I'm like, bro, this does not look good. What looks good about this? This is the chart that matters. This chart, who cares? Who cares? Great, right? It looks good. Awesome, perfect, right? But this is not. The dollar is being devalued every day. It should be winning against the dollar. Who cares? Who cares? That's not the point. Are you beating BTC is the point. Gary Gensler is gone January 20th. Yes. Yes. When does Sol do well into 2025? You got to have patience. You got to have patience. If you think BTC is going to 300, you think that's going to happen tomorrow? No. You got to have patience. If you think Sol is going to 1,000, you got to have patience. Is Stacks a BTC beta play? Do I have that on my list? I mean, I guess, but I just worry when people ask me about this stuff that they're like full port Stacks, right? That's putting a lot of eggs in one basket. Stacks is like what? This proof of, what is it? Proof of association or something? I forget the actual term. It looks okay on trend on the USD pair. Do they have Stacks BTC? No. Again, this is the real chart. The real chart is not the BTC pair. Or sorry, the USD pair. This is the real pair. This thing has only been ranging. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. It's below the cloud, out of the range. And this was an old range too. This isn't something I like just drew now, right? There's your answer, you know? Again, you're playing hard mode. Hard mode is picking out which 5 alts out of 10,000 are going to outperform. You can do that, but why? What's the point? What's the point? What's the point? Exactly, RC Cola. Like the answer is right in front of everybody. They just don't realize it. If something looks stronger than BTC, go for it. What do I care? Yeah, Doge looks very strong. It's going to have higher volatility. It's going to have higher drawdowns. If you're okay with that, which most people don't even realize what's going on there, but if you're okay with that, yeah, this looks good. Now, to expect every meme coin to eventually look as good as Doge, you're playing a dangerous game. You're playing Russian roulette a little bit because there's no promises there that everybody's going to keep rotating around. But yeah, Doge BTC looks fine. Okay, sure. It looks fine. It has looked fine. It's looked bullish along with Doge USD. It looks fine. I like a flag here. I like a falling wedge here. It looks good. Would I consider swapping BTC to Sol if it breaks out? That is a play that is up to you. I cannot answer that question for you. All I can say is if I'm trading this as a breakout trade and I've got alerts here, which is what you can probably see on stream. Just like, we'll go back to this. People asking me about a 5X on BTC here, right? The time to take action on this was not now, was not even an hour ago. The time to take action on this was at the breakout. 92. That was a couple days ago, okay? The time to take action on Sol BTC is at the breakout. That's when that's when I'll be forced with, hey, do you want to make a decision here, yes or no? That's it. That's all this is saying. You cannot say to yourself, oh man, I think this is bullish, I think this is going to break out, and then not play it and then be angry that you didn't play it. Like, that's not how this works. You have to make a decision when you're supposed to be making that decision, which is the breakout point. Now, this could easily just go flat for another 2 quarters, right? This could stay flat for a very long time, but the decision point is at the breakout for sure. I don't know what volume spread is. BSA? I don't know what that is. Martin says he only trades Sol BTC using the 20-week moving average. All right, let's see it. And the issue up here with any of the trend stuff is we've been flat for so long. The trend metrics aren't really going to help you. That's why you need some understanding of what the breakout would look like. That's why I like whatever this level is. Anything above this level? Sure. Now, Ben Cowan has pointed this out. He has said this could look like ETH, where ETH had a very similar, get out of here, indicators. ETH had a very similar ascending triangle. If we back this up to like here, right? We'll turn this nonsense off. ETH had an ascending triangle here. Sol looks very similar against BTC. That did not work out, right? Clearly. So the difference maker here is, and this, by the way, also was a cup and handle, right? The exact same thing. So the difference maker here on Sol is going to be, can it actually break out and hold that level? That's the difference maker. But yeah, it's setting up just as bullishly as ETH BTC was in 2022, and we all know how that worked out, right? Boom. Lord Hamon, I'd look at the Tuesday video. The Tuesday video, I talked all about targets. Breakout feels good. We're far from targets. I agree. Give these things some time. The LTC trade, says Jack. Yeah, I mean, you can play the game where you're like, okay, ETH BTC is down 20% in a week. It's got to bounce here. I mean, it was down 24% in 3 weeks, so that's not far off. This just looks Awful. Tony's still spamming the other's idea. Tony, who are you trying to sell, Tony? You can't trade others directly anyway. What are you trying to say? Most retail trading on a hope and a dream, not TA. Yeah, that's fair, Avi. Big descending triangle. I don't know which chart that was. Sorry, Jack. I'm catching up. Tony's still spamming it. Tony, I talked about it 10 minutes ago, Tony. People saying the mic is fine. Yeah, I don't know. My guess is on some people's setups, like the waveform of my voice like drops out on something. I don't know. Reading chat. Thanks, Zach. Tony. All I see is Tony's comment. Literally copy and pasted 16 times. It's just funny to me. I don't know why. Like, bro, no one's trading others anyway. It doesn't matter. All right, let's finish this list here. Anything else? All right, we talked about ETH. ETH cup and handle probably goes higher, but you have to keep in mind BTC will be down 0.5%. Alts are going to get crushed. They're going to be down 5%. That's just a world you're living in, trading alts. Doge USD. I think I said yesterday it's trying to make a flag. It's very hard to point out when things look fuzzy. I can't immediately identify like what this could be. It's already run up. Like I've already closed my trades on Doge a couple days ago at this point. So at the moment, I don't really care what Doge does. That doesn't help with the analysis because, I'm just like, whatever, who cares? I already took the win. Maybe this is a flag. I guess you're hoping for that. Pepe similar. Maybe this is a falling wedge. Maybe you get some sort of ABCD. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. SWE. Like the issue is, are you trading this, or are you just here because somebody told you that this thing was going to do good? If you're here because somebody told you that this thing was going to do good, then maybe just let that play out. Give it a few months. The TA here just tells me it's bullish but overbought. That's all I got. Looking at the cup and handle possibility here, 5 to 10. Sure, why not, right? But that's going to take time. That's the cup and handle. That's going to take time. But if you think it's going to 5 to 10, yeah, sure. Cardano. Oh man, Cardano. And maybe $1.50. I'm measuring the falling wedge higher. The issue with these alt charts, the ones that have done well, are just in the freaking stratosphere. And it's like, do I really want to get in here? I don't. Okay. Yeah, some of their targets are decent, but I like AVAX more. AVAX is closer to the cloud. It had a breakout, hasn't really gone anywhere. I talked about Link, similar, closer to the cloud, hasn't really gone anywhere. I don't know if these are going to do well. LTC, kind of similar. It broke out. It looks okay. The memes, they're all up infinity, right? So they're just, the odds that they can just continue going up at the same pace, I don't think are very high. What else is on the list? DOT is probably another one. Finally above the cloud. This is what you're looking for in ETH-BTC, right? Just anything that looks bullish. Anything. Bill Huang in the 18 years in prison. Yeah, they should have given him 36 years in prison. Stupid. Just reading chat. Reading. All right, let's talk about MSTR and then we can call it. Miners look okay. They're just going to be trading as beta to BTC. Square also looks great. This took years to consolidate. I would give it time, but it looks fine. It looks really good. I like it. I added to this today. There's not much else I can say about it. I like a target of 140, 150, 160, 170, something up there. It looks good. Roblox I cut today because they had another enforcement action or something from the SEC, CFTC. So just enough's enough. This can play out without me, but I'm done trying to trade this. I don't need regulatory risk in a trade when BTC is going to infinity. SMLR is another one. Looks great, looks good. Probably a little late to jump on this train, but I like 100, 150. Okay, we're just measuring that. For MSTR, I just laugh because that candle's so dumb. My plan on MSTR was two things. This is the soul trade, okay? Same idea. My plan was get in this thing on the daily cloud on the breakout. We had this W. I probably talked about it at the time. So that was September. I'd started buying this in July. And my exit was going to be up here. That was my plan. So that's what I did. This went past that, right? It's coming back to that now, but it went way past that. I don't have anything else to say on MSTR here, honestly. I mean, it needs to cool down a little bit. It needs to consolidate. This is like, it's like meme coins. Doge went up 10,000%, right? What is this? Doge is up 200% in a month, okay? MSTR is up 150% in 2 months, okay? That's not normal. I don't care what this is. That's not normal. So this needs to cool off, take a breather, consolidate a little bit. I just don't have anything else to say here for MSTR. Not because I don't own any, but it reached the top of the pitchfork. We can even look at, I think I had a different version of that down here. On the daily. It reached the top of the pitchfork, check. It reached the measured move target from the consolidation, check. That's all I got. I got nothing else. I got no other ideas here. It overshot that and it's selling off, okay? This is what I expected, which is why I'm out. I might have closed early, but I'm still fine with it. I'm still fine with it. Now, my guess is that MSTR eventually recovers, does fine, whatever. If I had to put a bid on this, it would be like 330 or something. But that's it. I don't have any other ideas. This was the idea that I've been watching since July, executed on, got out of, and now it's just, it needs to consolidate. That's it. I got nothing else. People asking about a bunch of other stuff. ICP, Filecoin. I mean, we can look at that real quick. Filecoin is, it looks like AVAX. Anything that looks like this remotely, sure, the cloud says fine. TIA, it's not there yet. No one asked about this, but TIA's not there yet. That's kind of it. I mean, the link looks okay. With anything that's up 200% in a day, like, yeah, it needs time. Let it chill out, right? That's kind of it. I don't have anything else to say. Palantir, I guess we can pull up. I don't know. I've nothing to say about this because just like MSTR, Ideally, you're selling a little bit on the way up. You're selling a little bit on the way up. This is clearly parabolic. We can measure like this, and we can say 72 to 130. But it depends on your entry and sizing and risk tolerance. So I don't know. It looks fine. It's not bearish, obviously. I wouldn't open a fresh trade up here. That's just me. I agree, Jack, that MSTR looks like it's starting to distribute a little bit. Disney, last we checked, yeah, Disney looks good. Disney looks like Square. The difference is nothing outside of crypto is going to move as fast as crypto. Nothing outside of crypto is going to have as high of a price target as crypto. And you got to give this time. That's it, you know, like it looks good. It looks good. Disney looks good for sure. And all this other stuff is just hoping that ETH and Sol cannot break down. Graph looks fine. Again, anything that looks like this to me is a fine idea for a trade. Thanks, Jack. Yeah, we'll look at coin and then we'll call it. We'll try to keep this to a tight hour. Coin looks okay. It hasn't really traded particularly well. Again, this kind of isn't the chart. This is the chart. Coin against BTC. It's just sideways, right? We can take this a step further and say, all right, what about against leveraged BTC? And it's even more sideways. And we can do this a step further, and this is basically ETH BTC. This is coin against MSTR. Coin against MSTR is, it looks like ETH BTC, right? All right, well, we'll call it there. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. We'll keep it tame in the hour. But everything looks good. All systems go. Got to be patient. Alts will do what alts want to do. And you just got to keep that in mind. There's no promises that alts just 2x or whatever, you know. I like Sol into 2025 based on the Sol BTC chart, but there's no promise that breaks out. ETH, I really don't think it's worth playing around with until it starts trading better. And everything else might get rotated into, might not. That's all I got. We'll call it there, and we'll see you for Setup Sunday.